ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. Today we got Corey and the crew going in, so let's get right into it.
And really quick, I know that people are freaking out. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but the whole thing about the Trump housing, LA was already ahead of it. They stopped taking Section 8 applications, they said earlier in the year, because they didn't know where he was going to go. And sure enough, here we are. So the whole...
What did he say?
The Trump administration proposes eliminating Section 8 housing vouchers to replace with states designing their own rental aid programs instead. I'ma hate to say this. Don't call me Candace. Don't you call me Candace Owens. He's right. He's right. I know. What they say about that broken clock? What do they say about that broken clock? It's right twice a day. He's right. It's time, y'all. They need to completely overhaul. I was going to say redesign, but eliminate seems pretty harsh. But yeah, it's time. Let's look into the details. Officials say the current system is broken and want states to design their own rental aid programs instead. The plan would also limit support for able-bodied adults for 2 years, focusing more on elderly and disabled. You got me, Trumper. You. I'm not putting a red hat on, but you got me, because they're absolutely 110% correct. Boo. Okay? You and all your children that you keep having, independent on the system, it's time, boo. I'm going to need you to get to work. No shade. No shade. The disabled and the elderly is the only people that should be applying and receiving housing off the government. That is my opinion. Housing advocates warn this could cause a major surge in homelessness, since only a quarter of eligible families currently get help. Cutting further would be devastating. Experts also worry about changes that would reduce local control and shift focus to short-term shelters instead of permanent housing. There needs to be a third option. I do agree with that for, women and children. There needs to be a third option, but the government assistance is not one. Specifically housing, there needs to be some sort of pilot program that they do. Again, this is going to be state for Section 8, but they need to have another option. There needs to be another option, and this is a good start to implement that.
The whole United States is in an uproar right now and very worried because last week they're cutting the funds. They're not going to give any money anymore to the funds for Section 8. Then behind that, so they're going to leave.
Don't wait, D. I got to make sure you're right.
Okay.
So my bitch in Section 8 is in trouble?
Here we go. Pretty much, yeah.
Man, I can't have this bitch homeless again. It was so hard when this bitch didn't have nowhere to go.
Well.
Because I told her how to let the car seat back from the trunk where you could lay across it all the way.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
People don't know you could get to the trunk from the back seat because she didn't. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway,
she didn't know she could lay horizontally in her car, and I showed her how you can open the trunk part from the back where there's enough room to lay down.
Oh, that's so kind
and
of
go to the
him.
YMCA and wash up in the morning. And she was like, "You got me out here like that." I was like, "But I show you love when you do services for me, but not enough to put you up."
Anyway,
you can't have a place to stay for what you do. You haven't proven that type of loyalty.
Anyway, so we'll see how this is going to affect the whole United States because they're going to make this.
That ain't fair, man. I worked so hard to help this bitch get her Section 8. God damn.
Well, and you know what? Well, they're going to say, people are saying, look, there was just like with a lot of other things when they used to do child support, or not child support, there's a deadline for it. Like if you need help getting on your feet, they're saying that there's certain deadlines for people. Like it depends on who they are. Are they young and able? Are they older and So they're going to try and regulate it a little bit more, but he's basically cutting out 40% and letting the states do really what they can do. But how are they going to do it with no funds?
She slept in Ralph's parking lot. No. I told her a safe place to park and lay down where people won't break in her car. Up on the canyon.
Man. They just said people that are following this are just saying,
"Hey, got the shit."
Stop.
That's what I taught her to do.
Oh my God! Like, damn you, Abe. feed this damn fool.
She
Anyway,
had to
That
cut
is
the air
crazy.
on because it was so hot one day. I was like, bitch, you got to put some gas in the car. It's cheaper than getting a place. You can't afford California. It's time to go back to where you come from. L.A.
Time to move to
proved too much
Modesto.
for the man. Too much for the man. He couldn't make it, so I told her to lay
that's
in her car down.
What is that? What y'all singing?
What happened?
What song was that?
It's before your time. Midnight
no,
Train to
he
Georgia.
knows that.
Oh, that's okay.
She's sleeping
On that midnight train.
in the back seat with the trunk laid down. In the back seat with the trunk laid down. Woo woo.
Okay, I know that now.
She's not my real girl, so I told her to lay down in her car, bitch. Sleep in the back seat where hoes must lay. Ain't the old girl from In Vogue? She was
Oh,
sleeping in
yeah,
her car for a
Don. Yeah,
while.
Don.
Lay down in your car.
That's what she said.
All right, I was like, Craig, I was so lost. I'm like, what is they singing? But once they got to the hook, I'm like, okay. But the Section 8, so let's talk about, I think for us, most of us get turned off by Section 8 because we feel like a lot of women get on it who like scam and hustling. Some of us be jealous because they got a lower rent. Some of us be jealous or we don't like the fact that they have kids all over the place, live a reckless lifestyle, and they get help on top of that. I can't stand an adult who don't have money management skills. I think a lot of that starts when you're a kid/teenager. And if you didn't have that type of parent growing up, obviously you're going to be delayed. But I think that's the biggest pet peeve a lot of us have with Section 8. Like, these the people who want to be fresh, have they 8 kids all wearing Jordans, but you flexing with $50 and $100 rent. Now, I am a firm believer of we all fall on hard times. If these celebrities sitting up filing bankruptcy and getting foreclosure, us average everyday people, we fall on hard times too. Now, maybe not so bad where you need government housing, but things happen to us all. But the whole Section 8 thing, I think, just got a really negative name on it because of how the recipients of it recklessly spend their money and live their life. And then here you go, you working hard and your rent $1,500 right now. Then you got the issue with you can't have a man in the house and the whole government agenda behind that. But I think the biggest thing for us is like the generational hustling. You will see people with Section 8 and instead of them using it temporary to get up on their feet or do what they need to do, you will have generations of these people who grew up in these projects or these Section 8 housing because my mama lived in it, got cheap rent, taught me how to get on Section 8, you know, went through the whole waiting list, waiting years or whatever. And then you get on it and you never really see a lot of people progress. And I know some do. I would never stereotype and put everybody in the same category. But we see a lot of those stories where the women just own Section 8 for life. I know somebody who's on it and been on it for forever and has no intentions on getting off of it, has gotten all kind of money to come through their hands, but never really saw any value or never had any financial discipline to take that money that came through their hands and buy them a house or something. This rent, this cheap rent is so nice, right? I think we would all, if we was renting, would be happy to pay $100 a month rent. And people get stuck. They get complacent and they get used to big daddy government and that cheap lifestyle, not realizing that when you get older, at some point, you got to come off Section 8, right? You can't be on it for life till you 70 or 80 years old, I would think. And I don't know all the details. I don't know if you come off once your kids get 18. I don't know how that works. But I personally believe in home ownership. So I'm just thinking like as you get older and you're on Social Security, how could you live in a Section 8 housing? It would benefit you so much to own a home. That's my opinion. But yeah, some people, they just ride that train, Section 8, welfare, EBT, bridge card, SNAP, WIC, like those government subsidies, they just don't want to let go of it. And then you have people who get upset because they like, that's our tax dollars going into this and you lazy and you don't want to work and you had all these kids and you can't work. And I'm a firm believer in getting what you need to get from the system. Yes, I am, because the system gonna get what they need to get from you. Look up taxes, look up paying taxes on your wages and you will see what I'm talking about. So I'm not mad at a person for kind of hustling the system to an extent, but I just personally couldn't do it, and have people like inspecting my house and my man can't be up in here, that type of stuff. Like, I ain't living like that. But I'm not mad at somebody for using government vouchers and using the system to help them if you genuinely need that help. But Trump ain't playing, y'all. Trump is making a lot of budget cuts in different sectors of the economy, like the prison reform, like the Section 8, the housing vouchers. So basically, he gonna leave it up to the states to figure out how they want to work it and how they want to manage it financially. But Trump said he was gonna be making a lot of changes and people was gonna feel it initially, but it's gonna get better in the end, which I don't believe that part. But we're starting to see his administration shaking up a lot of things. A lot of people who was comfortable and complacent, feel like they had it made getting a lot of this assistance, they about to start cutting that. And I do believe that some people are just pure lazy, and I can't stand a lazy person. So for me, I look at it like, if people need help, look out for them, because we've all needed help at some point. But the people who just want to make children and not take care of them and do the bare minimum in life, I'm not with that either. Because me personally, I had to work for everything. I wasn't able to live nowhere for no $100 a month. Me and my husband, we worked for everything. So I'm definitely not a hater, but I don't believe in that lazy mentality and the generational curses and the reputation that stuff like this bring. It's such a negative stereotype associated with Black women, Section 8, and government benefits, even though they said that the Caucasian American community is the biggest recipient of welfare. I don't know if that's Section 8 too, but that's been out there, that Caucasian Americans get the most government assistance. Hopefully people will do what they got to do, take heed to the warning, and don't let them babies be left out there without a roof over their head. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the Section 8 housing. Let me know what y'all think. Till the next time, I will catch y'all in the next episode.